So there's a 2008 studies by Yonkers et al. They say that there's an estimated 5 to 8% of menstruating women worldwide who are suffering from PMDD and severe complexity of that condition. But that doesn't include the women that get misdiagnosed. That doesn't include the women that don't go and seek help because they mightn't even realize that they have PMDD, because they might put it under the banner of, I'm just tired. I'm trying to manage a household of kids. I'm trying to manage a really stressful job. And, maybe they just assume it's part of being a woman, because that's what I did. But then what I started to do is I started to track my patterns. I've used a couple of different apps. I'm using Day One app, which is a digital journaling app, which I can use on my Mac. I can use it on my phone. I also use an actual hard copy journal to write in. So I'll write down, what day of my cycle it is, and I'll write down the symptoms. There's also a really good app called Effecto, which is very good for tracking your ADHD symptoms. When I started tracking those symptoms, all of a sudden things became clear, and it was like an aha moment for me. So what is the science behind the link between ADHD and PMDD? Even though research is still emerging on this topic because it is quite new, it's only now that, women are starting to actually voice what they're feeling, and that those feelings are validated. And that's why there's some recent studies that have come out. And one of the things is that both ADHD and PMDD, they're linked to brain chemistry. All right. Let's talk about managing ADHD and PMDD. And this is my journey. This is what worked for me. And this is something that resonates deeply with me personally, obviously, which is why I've taken this approach. What works for you might be completely different, but the reason I'm sharing this is because I want more women to become aware of the link between ADHD and PMDD, and also for you to understand that if there's a tiny little voice inside of you, that's called your intuition, if that's saying to you, no, I don't want medication, that's okay. That's completely okay, because there are other ways to look at managing symptoms and healing the deficiencies in your body. So what I did, one of the biggest things is, a couple of years ago, I did a DNA test, and we talked about this in the previous episode 1. And then recently this year, I did a DNA test with a different company, because over time, the DNA tests have become more available, as well as the types of tests have improved, meaning that the sequencing machines can now actually test for many more different things, which has been so helpful for me in learning and understanding about inflammation in my body, detoxification in my body, as well as the nutritional deficiencies.